Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Joining me. Wait a minute, is this a familiar face? It is Safe Community's own Ashley Hillman. She's back. Ashley, welcome back to the show. How are you doing?
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. It's so good to be back. It's always great talking with you, Jeremy.
It's
All is well.
I can think of different times where I interviewed out at crosswalks in town, at your falls event or prevention event. We've been everywhere, and it's so great to see you back on the show. And you're back because you have a fall prevention event coming up. It's called Only Raindrops Should Fall, and fall prevention event. I love talking about falls prevention of falls, not falling, because it's a crazy statistic in Wisconsin and in Dane County especially. But first and foremost, Safe Communities is a great organization. What do you guys do at Safe Communities to help us stay safe?
Yeah, great question. Well, Safe Communities is a nonprofit injury prevention coalition organization, and we're based off of a World Health Organization model where we look at the top causes of injury, death in a certain area, so Dane County for us. And then we build coalitions around those issue areas and try to change those numbers. So for Dane County, those top causes of injury, death are suicide, drug poisoning, traffic safety, and falls among older adults. And so that's why I'm here today.
Yeah, and I've been fortunate to talk to you about this a lot. So, you've given some great information over the years on why it's so important to talk about it. And it doesn't, just because you're getting older doesn't mean that faults can happen to anybody. But, unfortunately in our area, it just happens to be something that's just big. So why do falls cause death? I mean, you don't really think about it in that way, but what's going on?
Yeah, that is a great question. I think it's a question that a lot of people don't think about, which is why this is an issue that is just oftentimes not at the forefront. So, you alluded to this, Jeremy, that in Wisconsin, falls are actually the leading cause of injury death among our older adult population. Um, but also you mentioned this too, it doesn't have to be that way. There are lots of effective strategies that you can employ that will help you reduce the rate of falls, because oftentimes the trajectory after a fall is not a good one. So it can often, lead to death. And if not that, sometimes people end up in nursing homes and they never go back home, or they have chronic issues after a fall. It's just not a good thing to happen. And then life after that can be extremely difficult. But that's why we do the work that we do, is to help educate people and provide resources so that, falls are, first of all, not a normal part of aging. And secondly, there are lots of things you can do to prevent one from happening in the first place.
I'm glad you say it's not a part of aging. I think it's the key word that I always think about when I think about the discussions we had, that just because you get older doesn't mean you have to fall. I mean, it just doesn't. And that's why you have this great event going on, Only Raindrops Should Fall. Tell us about this event on April 25th.
Yeah, so we are super excited. We are partnering with Quarry Ridge Retirement Community in Fitchburg, and the Fitchburg Senior Center. And what we'll do at this event is provide lunch for participants. It's free of charge. We always make these events free, so they're accessible to anybody who wants to attend. Lunch will be provided. There will be speakers who talk about effective falls prevention strategies. And then participants are going to have the opportunity to progress through a series of screenings, thanks to our partnerships with UW-Madison School of Nursing and Madison College's Occupational Therapy Assistant program. So participants will work with students, and they'll get a report card of sorts, so that after the screenings, which will include vision, gait and balance, home safety, cognition, those types of things, a participant can look and see what is their risk of falling and what could that risk be attributed to. And then what are the resources locally that might help them address those potential risk factors? So it's a really great event. We're super excited to be working with all of our amazing partners. And again, it's free. All you have to do is call to register to attend.
Yeah, and let's talk about success stories. So we've had the fall events in fall. Let me clarify, only leaves should fall. Very successful, and you've done some other events. But tell me some success stories and people who have attended these events and gone on to actually the awareness of not falling. Obviously, if they don't fall, it's a win. But
Yeah.
but there are other things to this that help in the prevention of falls.
Yeah, exactly. So we do provide an evaluation that has given us really great feedback on what are the kind of golden nuggets that people take from this event. And I think across the board, it's wow, I had no idea. I had no idea that, I think a lot of people think, well, the lady down the street, yeah, she maybe would be at risk of falling, but not me. I'm active, I'm independent. And yeah, those things all may be true, but anyone is at risk of falling. But there are things you can do, again, to prevent that. So one of the things we do with this event also is we have a post-event follow-up. So we have someone call and ask, do you have questions? Are there other resources that might be helpful to you? How do we get you plugged into a fall prevention program like Stepping On or some other balance program? Do you need a home safety assessment, a free home safety assessment? What are the things that we can do to help you? And some of the feedback on those post-event calls that we've gotten are that, people have made changes in their homes. They've, asked their landlord to install a rail, outside, especially during winter months. Lighting in the house, enrolling in an exercise program that helps improve balance. So those are all some of the positive outcomes. And those are all things that will prevent a fall. So hopefully those people who make those behavior changes, they're not the ones who are falling. And we want everybody to have that opportunity though.
Yeah, it's a really great event. We have filmed some of these. You can go back and check them out on our on-demand site. And Ashley, it's just good to it's good to age. It shouldn't be scary to age. And like you said, you shouldn't think of that just because you get older that you're gonna fall. And I just love that piece of it because I think that's the piece that we're all like worried about. Like what happens when we get older? You can slow down, but you can still have fun. And darn it, don't fall.
That's it exactly. It should not the fear of falling should not impact your life. I mean, these are amazing years in your life, and you want to live them how you want to live them. You don't want to fall cramping your style.
Don't cramp your style. You heard it here, Ashley Hillman, Safe Communities. All right, Ashley, one more time, if people would like to get signed up for this event, you do want them to register, how can they get their spot today?
Yes. Okay. So I'm going to look at my notes. I want to get this number right. So you can call 608-819-1190 to call and just reserve your spot. We just take names, and this is only because we need to know how much food to provide. So call and get your spot today. We do have kind of a max number of people that will be able to attend. But that being said, if this event fills up, we are offering these events kind of throughout the year now. So just stay tuned for those future opportunities.
All right, Ashley. And if people do want to find more about resources that Safe Community has, or just questions in general, how can they get in touch with you?
Yeah. So, well, you can always go to our website, www.safercommunity.net, all one word. And you can also just call me directly. So I'll give you that number too. It's 608-235-1957. And that will go straight to me. And if you have any questions about safe communities in general, but fall specifically, resources, I'm happy to help connect you or to find the answer.
All right, Ashley, thank you so much for your time. It was so nice seeing you. I love catching up with you. And hopefully we'll get some people out to this fall prevention event and people will be just happy and not falling.
Thanks, Jeremy. I appreciate it. Always good to see you.
You as well.